Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to get into a shift that, honestly, it goes way beyond just small efficiency gains. We're talking about something that can fundamentally improve your profit margins.
Yeah, that's right.
We're looking at where and how human effort is actually spent in your business. Specifically, the incredible cost of all that repeatable work.
Exactly. And look, this isn't about buying another piece of software or, teaching an employee a new keyboard shortcut.
No.
This is about completely eliminating the high cost of human thinking that right now acts as this expensive manual glue between all of your essential business tools.
The human glue. That's the depressingly perfect way to put it.
It is.
Because that's what a huge chunk of payroll is for.
Right.
You're paying a smart person to just be a data conveyor belt, a router between tools that won't talk to each other.
Think about the day-to-day. Your team member, they have to check one system, could be the CRM, the help desk, whatever. Then they have to manually copy information out of it. Then they have to decide on the next step based on some rule that's probably just in their head, and then manually paste that result into another system, maybe two other systems.
And this is the crucial part, they have to go back and double check that nothing broke along the way.
And before this big architectural change we're talking about, the Model Context Protocol, or MCP, that whole process was just fragmented. It was broken by design.
So if you wanted your inventory system to, say, trigger something in your finance system, you couldn't just tell them to talk.
No, you had to pay someone, a developer, to write very specific custom code for just that one single interaction.
It was what developers call the N times M problem.
Exactly, the N by M problem. Every time you add a new tool, you have to build custom connections to all the other tools it needs to talk to. It creates an incredibly fragile system.
The setup costs are huge, and the maintenance.
Oh, the maintenance is even worse. The whole thing just falls over. The second one of those tools has a minor update, and then the human glue has to rush in and try to fix the break.
Okay, so let's set the stage here. The goal of this deep dive is to show you how MCP just gets rid of that cost. So here's the core message we want you to hold on to.
This is it.
Before MCP, humans thought through workflows, and AI would, help out occasionally. After MCP, AI runs the workflows, and humans supervise.
We are literally moving the human out of the loop for any process that has clear steps and rules.
Let's start with the status quo. The world most businesses live in today, where the human is still the brain.
In almost every company, the human is the central processor. Something happens, a new lead comes in, a payment fails, whatever, and a person notices it.
And that kicks off a chain of manual work.
A total chain reaction. They have to decide, okay, this means I need to update Salesforce, then I need to send a Slack notification, then I need to check the budget in our spreadsheet.
And all the while, these powerful tools, Salesforce, HubSpot, you name it, they're just sitting there. They're waiting.
They're just inert. They're rigid endpoints. With the old way, using APIs, you had to pass all the context for a job every single time you made a request. It made any kind of multi-stuff work incredibly heavy.
The key line that really defines this whole era is, the human is the brain. The tools just wait.
That's it. Perfectly put.
And this is where I think a lot of business owners got excited about AI early on, but then got pretty frustrated.
Oh, absolutely. The models got incredibly smart really fast. They could analyze data, summarize documents, answer really complex questions.
But they couldn't reliably do anything across different systems.
Because it wasn't a knowledge problem, it was an architecture problem. The AI was like this brilliant advisor that you couldn't give any real tasks to. You'd say, go fix that broken order, and it would just hit a brick wall.
Because how would it know? How would it know that fixing an order means updating the CRM, moving a file in Google Drive, and submitting a ticket in Jira, all in that specific sequence?
Precisely. Before MCP, the AI had no standard, secure way to even find out what tools were available to it. It was like having a brilliant chef who's only allowed to use one tiny cupboard.
So the AI had all the intelligence.
But it had zero authority. It couldn't actually run a real end-to-end job.
Okay, so that makes total sense. The breakthrough isn't just a slightly better tool. It's a foundational change in how the intelligence communicates with the systems.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about the Model Context Protocol, MCP. If you want a really simple analogy, just think of it as the USB-C port for AI.
I like that. Universal.
It's a universal open standard that lets any AI brain plug into and control any external tool, and it does it securely and consistently.
But how is that different from, say, a big central data warehouse? We've sort of seen those ideas come and go.
The big difference is who defines the action. Instead of a human writing custom code, MCP works by letting the tools themselves advertise what they can do.
So your database, your payment processor, whatever.
Right. They basically announce their available tools or actions to the AI agent, and they do it in a single standard language.
So Google Drive isn't just offering a random API anymore. It's effectively saying, hi, I'm Google Drive. I can move files. I can rename them. And here's the standard way to ask me to do that.
You've got it. The AI application then gathers all of these available actions from all your systems into one unified registry. And because it's a consistent standard, the AI can dynamically figure out the sequence of steps it needs to do a complex job.
Without a human having to write any custom code for each connection.
None. The AI now has the map, it has the security clearance, it has everything it needs.
Which means the AI stops asking what to do.
And it starts doing the job. You've just pulled all that expensive human thinking time right out of the middle of the process.
Okay, this is the shift to autonomy. So let's ground this in profit. Let's get really specific about where the human thinking is removed.
Yes.
Start with a classic pain point, expense review and approval.
Perfect example. So before MCP, what's the process? An employee submits an expense for, say, a $450 dinner.
Right.
A finance person gets it. Now they have to stop what they're doing. They have to go find the corporate policy doc. Then they have to check the ERP system to confirm the budget is there. Then they have to visually check the receipt to make sure it's compliant.
That's at least 3 different windows, a ton of context switching, and it's super prone to just human error.
It's slow, it's tedious, and you're paying a person to make a repeatable decision over and over again.
So that's the before. What's the after look like?
With MCP, the expense transaction is just instantly routed to the AI operator. It doesn't even land in a human's inbox.
Okay.
The agent immediately calls the necessary tools, the policy database, the budget tracker, the receipt validator, all at the same time. Doesn't need to read a document. The tool calls themselves. If the rule is approve if under $500, the AI just executes it.
And the outcome here is that the finance team just stops reviewing routine expenses, period.
They only see the exceptions. All of that thinking time is just gone.
Wow. Okay, let's take a more complex one. What about something more strategic, like vendor negotiations or renewals?
A great one because it involves sensitive data. So before, the procurement specialist has to go bidding. They open the ERP to find old contract terms.
Then they're searching through their email for old negotiation threads, trying to piece together a strategy.
Exactly. And they're always worried they missed that one key email from last year that could change everything. That anxiety is what you're paying them for.
So after MCP,
the renewal date gets triggered. Instantly, the AI agent makes secure, standard calls to both the ERP system and the email provider. It pulls the complete history, financial, and communication in seconds.
And it doesn't just give you a data dump.
No. It weighs that context against known best practices for that vendor type, and then it generates a recommended renewal strategy. And because it has authority, it can go one step further.
It can draft the email.
It can draft the optimized renewal email already populated with the new terms, ready for the specialist to just review and click send.
You're eliminating all that search time and basing the strategy on complete data, not human memory.
Exactly.
All right, one more. Let's hit the big one. Sales operations, lead intake, and follow-up. This is where so many errors happen.
It's where the fragmentation really hurts. So before a new lead comes in from the website, a sales rep has to check it, manually update the CRM.
Send a Slack message to the team, then go into HubSpot or whatever to trigger the right email campaign.
And we consistently see error rates between 8 and 12% on this. A misspelled name, wrong region, or just a missed follow-up because a step was forgotten.
You are literally paying people to be copy and paste machines, and then you're paying for the mistakes they inevitably make.
The change here is profound. After MCP, the AI agent just notices the new lead. Instantly, it pulls info from the CRM, it updates the ticket status, sends the right Slack alert to the right channel.
And it can even handle basic questions.
Oh, yeah. It can resolve simple queries like, where's your pricing, by using the knowledge base. All of this happens in parallel, in seconds.
That's not just about error rates. You mentioned onboarding before.
This is a huge secondary profit impact. A new sales ops person used to take 2 days just to learn which tool to update in which order. A massive sunk cost.
And now?
Now, with the AI operator running the workflow, the new hire just supervises the agent. They don't need to learn the steps, just the desired outcome. Onboarding time drops from 2 days to under 2 minutes.
So the core benefit across all of these examples is just crystal clear. The human no longer thinks about this.
Let's be blunt about the profit impact. This isn't about small tweaks. This is about restructuring your expenses to drive real margin growth.
You mentioned the time savings on just the setup, building a custom integration for a payment processor.
That used to take 2 to 3 weeks of a specialist's time, weeks of coding and debugging.
And now setting up the MCP server to do the same thing.
It takes minutes. You start earning back that capital almost immediately.
And then there's the errors. Every time a human filters data wrong, every time they forget a step, that costs real money.
When a deterministic AI agent is handling that transactional thinking, those common human errors they vanish.
So the real implication for any business owner listening is that the AI handles the repeatable thinking.
Which frees up your existing staff to focus on the things that actually require human intellect. Judgment, nuance. You're shifting your payroll from paying for glue to paying for judgment.
This is how companies grow margins without growing headcount. It is a true efficiency multiplier.
And we need a really simple mental model to lock this in. Think about when the API, the application programming interface, was invented.
Yep.
APIs gave software hands, they let programs talk to each other, but those hands were basically useless without a human giving them step-by-step instructions.
And MCP changes that completely.
MCP gives the AI a job. It is the real transition from AI as a clever but passive assistant
to an AI as an effective autonomous operator.
You're no longer the person executing the workflow. You are the supervisor who is responsible for the outcome.
That is the ultimate shift.
So we just circle right back to that core message. Before MCP, humans ran workflows and AI helped out.
After MCP, AI runs the workflows and humans supervise.
And this leads us to the final thought.
If a task has steps and rules, it no longer needs human thinking.
And that means every single routine, multi-step job in your organization is now on the table for full autonomous orchestration. The question is no longer if it can be automated. The question for leadership now is, how will you direct the agent doing the work?